probably mislead you and think you only need 3 ribbons and you need 4. Alright? On one of those, I think I drew an extra ribbon. Did I draw an extra ribbon? Oh, you've got it.
I got yours.
So there should be a 4th extra ribbon. What's going to happen is when you get the Pointe Shoes, they're going to sell you a packet of ribbon. And in that packet of ribbon, it's all one long piece. So what you have to do is you have to fold it in half, cut it, and fold those 2 in half and cut it so that you get 4 even pieces. Okay? So don't be misled by that paper with only 3 ribbons. A couple things before we even talk about sewing shoes is what you might want to have in your sewing kit. So I have this cute little sewing kit, and it's got a little pair of scissors, and it's got thread, and it's got a needle threader, and it's got, you know, some sort of little kit that they have this stuff that's here. Okay, the little zipper thing, that's kind of fun to have. They're going to try to sell you this stitch kit thing, and all it is pink thread, and they charge you double for it, what you would pay for, you know, for regular school thread. Even better, use dental floss. Okay, dental floss will hold and probably hold better than any thread that they're going to sell you. Okay. The other thing they're going to try to sell you is the netted bag. There are different colored netted bags that you put the Pointe Shoes in because it airs them out. You've got a Publix, Kroger, Aldi, whatever. Put your vegetable bags there. They're going to charge you $10 for a bag. You'll pay $4 for it afterwards. You know. So don't make these kids guilt you into, oh, I need that for my shoes. Yeah, you need it for the shoes, but you can get it ahead of time so that when you buy the shoes, you can put the shoes in. Okay, so don't get sucked in by all the riffraff. Because you're going to buy, well, the ribbons come with the Pointe Shoes, but they're going to try to, they'll probably, okay, some of the things, other things that you're going to need. Band-aids, 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 okay? Always good to have. This is the adhesive tape that they sell that once they really get going, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
That looks like plumber tape.
It looks like plumbing tape, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well you want adhesive tape that comes in the package like this.
Like the drugs.
Thread seal, this is pipe thread seal tape. Do they wrap this on their toes? Maybe,
No.
because I found this in the box up front.
It's the
These little corn pads are always good to get. You know, these little Dr. Scholl corn pads. They come in felt too, the smaller ones. These are pretty big, but they come in the smaller ones. I think I have. I'm going to put these out here. These are Miss Kathy's old Pointe Shoes. Okay, one of the things you might want to invest in is this is moleskin, Dr. Scholl's moleskin, and it's adhesive on one side. It usually comes in flesh color. This is white, but it comes in flesh color like this. And you remove the back, and if they have a spot that, you know, is rubbing or just doesn't feel good, then put it in your costumes too. That sequins are getting to you, and so like that. That's always good to have too. So invest in moleskin, invest in the corn pads, invest in some dental floss. You might want to invest, if you're non-smokers, in a little bit lighter. I'll show you what that's for later too. This is to, the ends of the satin ribbons get frayed. So what you want to do is take that and you just rub it along the end like that, and it burns the fray and it melts it right in so that they don't come unfrayed. I would say you guys should do this as opposed to them because they're likely to set their shoes on fire. So don't let that happen. They will probably, some of them might be fit with these toe separator, these gels. They have them, and when they look at the child's foot, they'll see whether or not they have the kind of foot that needs to Some of them, if they have like a wide separation between your feet like that, they'll put one of these in here. Now, personally, I can't stand the feel of it. I don't have that in there. Some girls use it, and I say, well, if that's what they're fitting you for, try it and see if it, but if it really bugs you and it's not helping you, whatever. Okay, right away. Oh, your step hat. Okay, so I don't anticipate them getting any blisters as long as the shoe fits well and all of that happens. Okay, so we got scissors, needle thread. So a needle thread, or have your dental floss in here so that if something happens, they can fix their shoe. The first time you're going to sew the shoes, just because they're probably not very adept at doing it. Encourage them as they get older and as they start getting more experience in their point shoes to be able to sew their own point shoes. Because inevitably, you're not going to be backstage with the show with their point shoe rips or tears or comes undone. They have to know how to take a needle and thread and do it. It takes time, it's not fast. Okay, so other things. So this is lamb's wool. They'll probably sell you point shoes. The ribbons come with the point shoes. There will also be elastic. They'll sell you a long thing of elastic. This elastic is to be worn on the shoe. Now, on this piece of paper, they show you where you can crisscross the elastic, or you can just have the single elastic like this. This is where the elastic goes, and it's to keep the heel from popping off. And as you'll see, when I send these point shoes around, that I only have the single elastic. Some girls do the double, but I don't see the double a lot. Do you want to undo some of those for me so that you notice on the bottom I have right and left written on them? When they first get the point shoes, there's no right or left. But as they start wearing them, they'll establish a right and a left foot. And it's always good that once that first time they put them on and your foot starts forming in the shoe, it feels really weird when you put a left on the right. So we'll mark the bottom of it, right or left, and then when they go to put the shoe on, they want to check and make sure they're putting it. Y'all get that in? And I think I've told you all about that before. Okay, so initially what you do when you first get a point shoe is you will fold it in half from the back like this. Then you'll make a mark right here on the canvas on the inside, and mark on both sides. That is right where your ribbon should be. And I'm going to start with you guys down here. See that interesting pen.
I think the
Do not get ribbons like
straightens your
this.
teeth.
This is not good for beginners.
What's interesting is it goes on the back side of the ribbon.
So don't
See
get
what we
stretchy
did when we
ribbons.
did
I don't
Caroline's
think
is we
they'll
sewed it up there.
Okay, so what you're gonna do with that string, that first ribbon, there's a shiny side and there's a flat side. You'll notice that the shiny side is on the outside and the flat, the grosgrain side, is on the inside. That's the side that has to be against the tights. The satin side should be on the outside. If you put the satin, make a mistake and put the satin on the inside, like that, it slips on the tights. So you don't want it to slip on the tights. So you want see you girls, you notice that. So this side is the not shiny side, and this is the shiny side. You want to make sure.
Right.
You're right. It does, it slips. So, you're going to take that ribbon. Pretend this is the ribbon. You're going to fold it once. You're going to fold it twice to make kind of like a square like this. Fold it once, fold it twice. And then, so the satin side should be on the outside. So fold the satin side in, fold the satin side in. Now, you're going to put this where you marked it on the shoe. And what you're going to do is you're going to just thread your needle and just sew all along here, all along here, all along here, and all along the top. So it has 4 sides to it being, so you're making a square like this, okay? You want to make sure that you don't go into this string box here because then you can't adjust the shoe at all. So you want to make sure it's below that encasing. See that encasing? You don't want it stitched there. Don't sew it on the outside. They may see some of the girls that have sewn it on the outside. It's just not done. Okay, if they're doing it wrong. Being that it looks sloppy and awful from the stage when it's sewn on the outside. So you want to sew it on the inside. Now, try not to go through to the satin side. As you'll see on the shoe, there's a canvas, and you can kind of move the satin and the canvas. Just nip the canvas, Try not to go through the satin side. It's not a big deal if you do, but the little beatnik in me doesn't want to see stitches on that side. You want to just, and you can feel it. You can feel where the canvas, so grab the canvas. Don't go through to the other side. Is that making sense?
No.
Okay. And you can go on YouTube and there'll probably be some couple good ones on YouTube too that'll help you. They'll pretty much tell you the same thing. When you go to do the elastic, you want to make sure that the elastic is not too tight and not too loose. So, for example, ouch. They don't feel good. I don't know why you want to go on these things. Okay, so you want this, you don't want it so tight that it's going to stop blood circulation, but at the same time, it can't be loose either. So it's a good thing to get them in their shoe, measure it, and make sure, okay, that fits, okay, that's long enough. Usually they give you enough for each foot, so they'll give you probably double this, and then you just cut it in half and then sew it. Again, the sewing part, do it below the casing, and just like that, the way that's sewn like that. Try not to go through the casing, and just go through the canvas. Joop, joop, all it is joop, joop, joop. Don't send it to the tailor. Oh, I get mothers that send it to take it to my lady who does my alterations. Don't take it to the lady who does the alterations. She doesn't know what she's doing. She'll do it on a sewing machine and it'll look terrible. So do not take it to your tailor. Who was going to do that? Raise your hand if you were going to do that.
Was I take it
If you were going to take it to the tailor.
Don't take it somewhere.
Okay, don't do it. If you're really good at sewing, you can do it on the sewing machine. If you're really good, but most sewing machines can't handle
But then it's gonna go through to the.
and then it goes through, exactly. They will also have boxes of lamb's wool. Lamb's wool is good to have, and this is how it comes, like in a thing like this. What you do with lamb's wool is, let's see. What did I do with? Okay. So, for example, if you have a sore spot on your little toe, you can take a little bit of lamb's wool like this, and when you put your pad on like that, you can stuff some extra lamb's wool in there to kind of soften it. And it gives it just a little more padding if they need a little more padding. So I say invest in a box of lamb's wool. If not, we always have lamb's wool here. But usually it comes in a little bag. They're going to try to sell, no they won't. This place is pretty good. They're not going to sell you. They have these pads, which come in like rubber, and you can't feel the floor when it's in your pointe shoe. They will sell you these. Now sometimes they come in different colors and stuff like that. But all it is just them, it's pretty. It's called a toe pad. And they'll fit them with these toe pads. I won't let them sell the other stuff because they have the other stuff there, but they've never brought it to the kids. They kind of go in there and go, oh, this is cool, let's buy that instead. And I don't recommend those at all. Some other things to it comes in these like little bags like this. Oh, and they also have those same pads with lamb's wool around. Now that's something I'm okay with. So you can do the lamb's wool on the inside. Okay, so that's good. And these usually come in sizes, and they'll fit us probably in a small size. When you come on Saturday, come in your tights and your leotards, okay? And Miss Bayham, who runs the store, is great. She's going to have pizza for us, but I think she's going to have like cookies and things like that. So she's going to serve you some food, and it's a big party, and it's a big celebration, and we take pictures. Miss Sarah will be there. I'm pretty sure Miss Allison will be there. These are the smaller corn pads, if you buy the smaller corn pads. Those probably work better than those. Okay, so this is another cheap thing. When they don't want to wear the silicone things, these work too, you know, those makeup things.
Oh, wow.
As a dancer, I used to put those in my feet. Actually, I used to wrap my feet in toilet paper. That was the pattern that we used when I danced professionally. We just take toilet paper and wrap it around the feet. It was cheap and it was easy to use. So what will happen then is once you get all of the ribbons on, don't do anything, because what will happen then when they come for their first class on Tuesday, Miss Allison will show them how to wrap the ribbons, okay? The hardest part is knowing how to wrap your ribbons and to make them comfortable. And that takes the most time. And we try to do it efficiently so that you get your shoes on in 5 minutes. It shouldn't take you 20 minutes to get your shoes on. The point part of the class is only 30 minutes, so you should have them on in 5 minutes so that we can do 25 minutes. The first half year, they're not going to leave this far. They're going to be right in this far. They're not going to be doing any turns. They're not going to be doing anything in the middle of the floor. Everything is going to be right here, you know. And we've been, that's just something we're really strict about. You want to get out there, you want to start turning. You can practice putting your shoes on at home, but don't do anything at home, okay? Because you can slip and hurt yourself, and we just don't recommend it to practice your points at home. You practice putting your shoes on and whatnot. And then there's also a way of folding the shoes when you're done so that they dry. You want to make sure you take all your padding and everything out so that it dries. They do sweat in the shoes, so they will dry. This is the platform of the shoe, okay? This is the box. This is the box. Some boxes come short, some boxes come long. It all depends on the shape of the child's foot. Some child who has a square foot will fit into a different shoe than somebody who has a pointed foot. I think, where are you, Maya, you have a big square foot, okay? And I think you have a little pointed foot. Your feet are just shaped differently. And that's why we like dance fashions, because they have a really good stock of shoes. And so they can usually fit you in a pretty good shoe. If your child has one foot that's bigger than the other, you might have to, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it has been known that you would buy 2 pairs of shoes, so that you put the 5.5 on this one and the 6 on this one, and then you would have, and when that shoe's worn out, but then you have the other foot. So you're actually buying 2 pairs of shoes that you'll be able to use, because inevitably those feet are always going to be like a half inch. You know, that's not going to change. But that doesn't happen real often. I think that only happens once.
Last year,
Jessie, right, her mom had to buy 2 pairs of shoes. This is the shank, all right? We want to make sure that they can go up on the platform and that they have some bend in there. If there's no bend in the shank and they're just like this, we're in big trouble. So we have to make sure that they have, that when they fit in the shoe, that they have this look. This edge here, they should not be going over that edge. Once you go over that edge like that, they have no control and they can really hurt themselves that way. So the shoe has to be strong enough to hold them up and to have this sort of look happening with it. So on the day with Miss Allison, when you come back, you will write your right leg on your shoe because that will establish, your foot. Okay? What other things? Are there any questions that you might have?
I heard that not for this first pair, but for, like when they buy other pairs like next year or whatever, that they have to have them approved before they wear them.
Yeah. What's probably good to do is if it's time for a new pair, go to the store, have them fit, but before you put ribbons or anything on them, because once the ribbons are on, you can't bring them back. And so that's why I'm going to be, and Allison's going to be in the fitting, and Sarah's going to be in the fitting, so that we have that approval there. But then after that, it doesn't have to happen all the time, but the next pair, we want the teacher to approve it. So don't show anything on until we get the approval of the teacher. Okay. What else?
it was at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
How long was
2 p.m. on
Well, it's kind of like whoever comes first goes first, and if you're coming in at 2:15, 2:30, you'll probably be last. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 of us. And she should have probably 4 or 5 people going at the same time. So it shouldn't take getting into the moment in an hour at the most. And then once you get fit and you go to the cash register and you cash out, that's when you get the shoes, the ribbons, the elastics. They'll charge you for the pads. They'll charge you for if you buy lamb's wool, they'll charge you for that. They'll charge you if you have an insert, your silicone insert, they'll charge you for that. So there are a lot of extra little charges, and before you know it, a $60 pair of toe shoes, you're paying $80. And needless to say, it's less than you bought a pair of shoes for your kid. It was $80. Maybe a pair of set of Oxfords or something like that. You can Catholic schools everywhere, but it's just the way it is. They don't get any cheaper, and depending on the brand of the shoe and the style of the shoe, they can run anywhere from $60 to $80. That's what it is. As I said in the letter that we sent home, if we find that they're having a difficult time and they're just not up on their toes the way that they should be, it'll be up to Allison and I to, take them down. Although I think between now and the recital, we have 5 more classes. So we'll do those 5 classes, and then this summer they will probably have, in summer intensive, hopefully you'll have a point class that you'll be working in. So always have your point shoes. Don't say, oh, I forgot my point shoes. When you leave your house, you have your ballet shoes, you have everything you need, and your point shoes and everything that goes in it. And everything in that little mesh bag you should have everything with you. Have the shoes ready for Allison's class on Tuesday. Is that Tuesday that she has you? Yeah. She'll be ready for you on Tuesday, and then I'll be back on Thursday and see you guys for the second time. Okay? Now, she's going to do different exercises than what I'm going to do, but probably the exercises will be pretty much the same. Okay? Don't expect to do pirouettes, don't expect to, do things across the floor or anything like that. The most we'll do is, just, stepping like this or walking this way. Oh, yeah, right. Other things you can get then, if you want some powder spray, just to, get on your feet, dries their feet, especially. Blisters happen because there's moisture, all right? So you just don't want moisture on the feet. That's what happens. Your feet sweat, you get moisture, it rubs, that's where blisters happen. Blisters can get infected. Blisters can really get infected bad. I've seen awful things happen to ballerinas' toes. But you're not going to be spending that amount of time in pointe shoes right away anyway. And you'll get calluses on your feet. Calluses are good. You want calluses. You don't want them to get so hard that, they hurt, but you need calluses on your feet to protect your feet. Okay, so your feet are going to kind of take a beating. And you're going to say, why did we ever want to go on pointe, Miss Kathy? Because I put these things on and it's awful. So the ends of the ribbons, we won't cut the ribbon. The ribbons are going to be too long. But once you get them on your feet and once you tie them and everything, then we can cut them. And when you cut them, that's when you do the edges. And let your teacher do it for you. Miss Allison will probably do it for you, okay? If I were here. Okay. I'm going to be here on Tuesday, actually. What time is your class? 5:30 to 7. Okay, I think I'm teaching for Miss Shelley. So I may pop in and kind of help and see what's going on with you guys. But let Miss Allison do the burning, okay? Or if for some reason she doesn't have enough time, then you take them home. And once they're cut, Mom and Dad can burn them. Don't burn the house down. Okay? Are you excited? Yeah. You should be. Make sure your toenails are cut before. I would cut them tonight so that they're not sore on Saturday. All right? Give them a good trim. And make sure that they're short enough. Okay? What happens when you take a hot shower or a bath, trim them when they're soft, and they're usually kind of sore the next day after you trim them. I don't know if you found that, but I found that I would have my feet sore the next day. So give them a couple days before they, put their shoes on.
Sure, she said we're supposed to trim around it instead of straight across.
Sometimes straight across will end up, the corners will be poking into the sides of the skin. So what I do with mine is I put a slight curve to it. Not that they have to be perfectly round like that, but instead of going straight across. That is supposedly the healthy way to trim your nails, but I think in pointe shoes, what happens is when your feet are scrunched like that, it really hurts. So I would put a little, flip it like this and then round it to the top so that it's kind of round. In the pointe shoe, the foot is not supposed to be crisscrossed like that. There should never be any kind of cross or overlay like that. Your feet should be flat inside the shoe like this so that you should be flat in the shoe. And they'll ask you, do you feel like your feet are crossing over and there's any kind of crisscross? And if you do feel like your toes are too squished, let her know it's too tight. Okay? And don't be afraid. If something doesn't feel right, tell the girl that doesn't feel right. I feel like my toes are squished. And she'll say, or you don't want them like cat, like that, like curving under. You want them really flat on the shoe like that. All right, that's kind of it.